Halloween.
Forever.
Good afternoon, Steven.
Hello, Brian.
How's it going this afternoon?
It's going pretty good. Day's just getting started. We'll start with a podcast.
Little early record session this week. Little abnormal for us. Before we get into all that, Steven, I got one for you. How's you feeling about one?
I can do one. I can do one this early.
You can do one? All right. We'll do one then. See, have you heard about that new Norwegian AI program that people have on their phones? Have you heard about this?
Norwegian AI program.
The one with the birds. You know, you just take a picture of any bird in the wild.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how close, how far away, it identifies that bird just by taking a picture of it. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah? What's it called? I've never heard of it.
Yeah. It's called Scandinavian. Well,
Ouch.
boys and girls, to a absolute dog shit minisode of Halloween is Forever. I'm Brian.
I'm Steve.
You might be asking, why's Brian got AI on the brain? Well, you're about to find out. You're about to find out. Steven, unfortunately for all of us, took down the January Showdown. He won with Tremors, our Neo Monster Showdown. And for some reason, he just decided to say, fuck the world, and gave us a movie as a punishment that I can only describe as unwatchable. Unwatchable AI dog shit. We are going to talk about the brand new film. I watched it on, I think, Prime.
Yeah, it's Amazon
I don't know
Prime.
where else it's. Yeah, I would urge you to not watch it, even if it's free. It is called Home Sweet Home: Rebirth from the year of our Lord. Oh, no. This actually came out before the new year, I think. I think this was in 2025.
Yeah, it was 2025.
But this is still a new movie. Holy shit, it's terrible. But before we get into all that, Steven, are you slurping on a little wet one? We just passed noon.
Yes.
On a Sunday. Are you slurping on a wet one?
I'm slurping on a wet one, Brian. And guess what?
Yeah.
It's heel turn Sunday. Fuck you, buddy.
It really is. Our text thread, Steve went full heel turn. I professed my deep hatred for him while watching this movie, and I said, for some reason, something got in Steve's craw. He's going full heel turn. What are you sipping on? Some sort of fucking slop, I assume.
I'm back on the Gloop Glob, motherfucker.
Yeah,
It is.
Oh,
A classic Gloop
yeah,
Glob.
okay.
It's
At least it's classic Gloop Glob.
Classic Gloop
Yeah.
Glob. Brooklyn Brewery, 10% black chocolate stout. Just one of the old timer fucking. It's less Gloop Glop and it's just more gas. But hey,
Yeah.
fuck it.
Back in the day, man, that was a sought after beer. Back in 2007 or whatever. I don't know when they started making that. Maybe before that. I can honestly say I haven't had it since. I don't know. Probably, certainly over a decade.
Sure. Yeah. I don't.
Is it? I don't remember much about it. Is it a big sweet son of a bitch?
It is not very sweet. Like, it is sweet, but I think it's
I remember it being a little more bitter, dark chocolate thing.
Yeah, it's a little more bitter, a little more dark chocolate. It has like a pretty acrid back end to it because it's both gas and bitter chocolates. But other than that, it drinks how I remember it. But yeah, it is like more chocolatey up front. It is thicker. Like, it is, everything you expect from a true chocolate stout, not just like a dry Guinness or whatever. So yeah, it's thicker, it's heavier.
Yeah.
It has more chocolate flavor to it, but it also doesn't taste like some of these, these wrecked fucking dessert stouts that are just like, I'm a chocolate tiramisu vanilla. It doesn't taste all like that.
Yeah. It just has it just gives you immediate diabetes.
Yeah.
It's just, might as well have a picture of Wilford Brimley on the back that just says diabetes. I will say, this new era that we're entering into of craft beer, which is like the craft beer boom, is decidedly over, right? Has been over.
Yeah.
Things are on the decline. Breweries are closing. You never like to see that, but breweries are closing. You know, dare I say, we got too many. We just got to a place where there's too many, and we're at a place now where you go to buy the craft beer. You're going to find a lot of old stuff on the shelf a lot of times, and what that's causing me to do, and I say this is for the better as a craft beer nihilist, is it's making me go back to the old reliable beers that were made well. Consistently made well, right? Sure. So I've been drinking a lot of the Sierra Nevadas, right? I've been fucking with the Sam Adams, right? I've been drinking, just stuff that I know is made and by people who know how to make beer and put it in a can, right, or a bottle, and it's going to hold up pretty well.
Yeah, we spent most of the fall talking about that Dogfish Head pack that came out that had all of our old favorites in it. I still have another Raison d'etre in my fridge. So we're still on those.
Listen, go support your local brewery that makes fresh beer and needs you to support it. But here's what we don't need: 750,000 breweries that are trying to national distribution. It doesn't pay out well for anybody, right? Beer is a perishable product. Now I'll get off my soapbox and I'll talk about speaking of Sam Adams, I picked up their new spring variety pack. Well, that's a little bit of a blast from the past, having a spring variety pack. And they've got some throwback beers in it, including the blackberry wit beer that they brewed back in the day.
Oh, wow.
And then this beer called Alpine Spring, which I think has been named about 4 different things. I think it was like Alpine Pilsner at one point. It's been brewed and renamed and rebranded many times. I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure this was one of the do you remember when Sam Adams used to have that homebrew competition, like national homebrew competition?
Yes. Yeah.
And it was called, it was just on the, I just had it in my head and now it's escaping me. It was called Big Shot competition or something like that. Anyway, they would take beers and then they would brew beers from home brewers, and then make a whole variety pack of all these different recipes from these different home brewers. And it was so much fun. And you got so many different weird beers. I'm pretty sure this like German Pils, kind of an Alpine, kind of slightly fruitier Alpine style German Pilsner, actually started as one of those beers. And the blackberry wit beer might have 2, but it's got that. It's got those 2. It's got Cold Snap, which is their other like spring, like wit beer. Yeah. And then they have like I don't know, it's some sort of blonde ale or something like that. So very drinkable beers. This beer, I remember when this was available in 6-packs back in the day, fucking fantastic. And honestly, I grabbed it mostly because of this beer. So I'm drinking on this Alpine Spring. And I'll be honest, Steven, as I slurp on that, your boy is, I wouldn't say hungover, but I went to a pirate-themed murder mystery party last night.
Now, be clear for the audience, baseball pirate or regular pirate?
Oh, our regular pirate. Okay. I was calling people slimy landlubbing bilgedrats, and all that sort of stuff. Drinking a lot of rum. We were drinking on some rum last night, Stephen. Had a friend, some friends hosted this pirate themed murder mystery party, and a small group. I think there's like eight of us, something like that. And we tied one on, Stephen. I wouldn't say I'm hungover as much as like just dehydrated, so I think this here crispy little Pilsner is gonna get me straightened out. That's what I'm planning on, at least.
Right on. That competition was called the Long Shot, by the way.
Long Shot, yeah, that's right, the Long Shot competition.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to imagine though that it was Andy Van Slyke with the baseball bat in the kitchen. So I don't know.
It was not Andy Van Slyke. That's a good guess, though. I will say, however, I did stop and pump gas and go into a local beer distributor to purchase beer on the way to this party in full pirate regalia.
Sick.
So just giving you an idea, I had the like, you're given a character that you have to play,
okay.
right? And my character was like a munitions expert kind of guy. So I had the long, naval style coat, the vest. I had a bandana. I had a lot of like belts and straps with sword. I had a long sword. I had a plastic flintlock pistol. Yeah. So you get the vibe here. That's kind of what I was going for. I'm walking in to buy beer at my local beer distributor up the road, whom the owner was there. I know him. I walked in and he just looked at me and I said, "Listen, before you say anything, I'm going to a pirate themed costume party." And he was like, "It's fucking January." And I said, "You shut your goddamn mouth. Don't you judge me."
Stop trying to kill whimsy in January.
Yeah, he was making fun of me, of course, as it should. You walk in on a Saturday night at like 7 p.m. in full pirate regalia, you got to catch some shit,
sure,
right?
Sure.
But the funniest part was as I'm walking out, I've got a couple 12 packs in either hand, and as I walk out, this guy who clearly just came from hunting, he's in full hunting gear, camo, he's holding the door for me as I walk out, and I'm like, I just kind of walk out as he holds the door for me, and he's just looking at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But yeah, we had a good time. Like I said, we got after some rum punch, and and we solved some mysteries. So that's where your boy's at today, and this Pilsner's doing me right. All right. Let's also, before we get into this dog shit fucking movie, I'm going to stall as long as I can.
I know you want to.
Let's also talk. Yeah. I mean, I actually have, as often is the case when we have a piece of garbage, I do have a lot of notes.
A lot of notes happen.
Yeah. But not about the plot, because there really barely is one.
Yeah.
We should announce what our showdown topic is going to be for February, because our listeners and social media friends have spoken. You might be saying to yourself, "What's a showdown episode? What are you talking about?" Listen up, boils and ghouls. If you're new to the show, or if you just never paid attention before, maybe you fast forward through this part of it. Who fucking knows? All I'm going to tell you is that we deliver some sloppy, sticky, sweet content on the internet every damn Monday. But the first Monday of every month, we do what's called a showdown episode. That's where we got 3 topics. These could be subgenres. These could be performers. These could be tropes, whatever. We throw those out on the social medias for our friends and listeners to vote on. They pick a topic. Then me, Steve, and either a guest or a collective Patreon community pick a movie associated with that topic. During the showdown episode, we argue our case. We have an old-fashioned slobber knocker. Somebody might get the kendo stick upside the head. Somebody might experience oh boy, what was that thing? I'm blanking. What was that thing when New Jack cut a guy super deep on his forehead? What do they call it? What was that guy's name?
Oh, he stabbed a guy named Mass Transit repeatedly in the ring.
Mass transit incident. That's what I was going to say. We might experience a mass transit incident. As you could tell, I've been watching a lot of ECW YouTube lately. We might experience a mass transit incident, but ultimately somebody's going to take home that son of a bitch and championship strap for the month. Steve did that in January, and that's why we're watching this dog shit punishment movie. But February's a new month, and your boy's back in the saddle again. So just to remind you, here was our topics. First of all, Herschel Gordon Lewis films. This is one that comes up, once a year probably,
Yep.
Steve?
Yep. Never gets picked.
Never wins. Nope. Steve always rallies for it. It's a real Buffalo Bills type of topic here. It always threatens, but it never makes it.
I've rallied for it in the past, and I may just take it off the wheel because it's become abundantly...
Take it out back and shoot it in the head.
It's become abundantly clear that people do not want. Except for one person on Threads. One person on Threads was really adamant about getting Herschel Gordon Lewis movies.
Well, we just talked about before we were recording, we were talking too. Threads, I think it's just all bots. Like, no one in the real world talks about Threads. I've literally never heard anybody mention Threads, but every time I'm on Instagram, somebody, something pops up that goes, "You want to join Threads?" And I'm like, no. Leave me alone.
It.
Stop it. You've asked me for like 3 years, do I want to join Threads? I'm not joining Threads. Just, again, take Threads alongside the Herschel Gordon Lewis topic out behind the 7-Eleven and shoot in the fucking head, because it's not happening. So spoiler alert, Herschel Gordon Lewis did not win, but that was one of our potential topics. We also had big top horror, so circus related horror and such. I was pushing for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy likes some clown shit, so I was doing that. And then lastly, sickest masks. And correct me if I'm wrong, Steven, sickest masks took it down.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I mean, it handily won on Instagram. It also won on our patron bonus poll.
Okay.
But like we did have some Herschel Gordon Lewis votes on Patreon. They are our, patrons are our most refined tastes. They understand what's good, but
they like to go a little deeper. Here's the thing, though. I don't think everybody realizes there's only about 3 good Herschel Gordon Lewis movies, maybe 2. And I think we did 1 or 2.
We've done 1. I would say there's 5 good Herschel Gordon Lewis movies.
That is, I understand the influence he has on the genre, the godfather of gore and all that. But he's got a couple movies that people like that are borderline unwatchable.
I think one,
in my opinion,
I think one that gets passed over, I can't remember the name of it, but it actually plays out more like a more violent episode of Columbo. It's just the one that like is about the serial killer who lives on the beach and like does paintings of people and includes their blood. That's just like a more violent episode of Columbo, but I still think that's fine. It's fine. Like it was ahead of its time at that time, but I don't think it would really register as anything with people now. But I think if you watch it within context, it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of fun.
There's a lot of them I will admit I haven't seen, but like, we did 2000 Maniacs. That's probably in my opinion, his most interesting film that I've watched of him. I've seen Blood Feast. Blood Feast, I understand the influence of it. It's pretty boring, in my opinion.
And again, that's you watch that one within context, because that one is just like straight police procedural with a little bit of gore at the end in certain parts. I mean, it's throughout, but like, it's not that. Again, it's not going to cue anything in your brains, and especially not of like younger people of today that are going to be like, oh my God, that's so fucking crazy. But if you watch it within context, you're like, that's pretty, that's an interesting thing of the time. I think Wizard of Gore is the one that would stand out the most for everybody as like, that still hits as like something that's like pretty subversive.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've seen that one. Maybe I need to go into the later Herschel Gordon Lewis, and because that one is like 1970, so maybe I need to get into that one. I've not seen the Gore Girls. I have seen, where's the other one I've seen? I'm looking through his list here. It was an earlier one too, The Gruesome Twosome with the old lady. Not good. I'm sorry, it was not fun to watch. Anyway, we'll put it to bed because it did not win. We are going to talk about sickest masks, which should be really fun because I think that will be a bit of a balancing, because how cool the mask is not necessarily directly proportional to how good the movie is.
Right.
So there will be some interesting discussions around sickest masks.
Yes.
And we're talking about what the character, we should clarify, the characters wearing masks, not like just mask effects like a monster.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? We're talking about the mask exists in the context of the story.
Yeah. So like, Jason or Michael Myers or whatever, but most of those are off the table because we've done those movies in the past.
Right.
So yeah.
This isn't our first day. We're not going Jason and Michael Myers. We're going a little deeper cuts, I think. I've already got a couple in my head that I want to jump down that rabbit hole. Okay. Also, Steven, before we get into this movie, I'm delaying it as much as possible. Yep. Tell the boils and ghouls what's going on over on the Patreon, because we got some exciting shit about to kick off this month.
Yeah, jump on the Patreon, patreon.com/Halloween is forever. You sign up $5 a month. It gets you all the things that we offer, including jumping on the Discord, watching episodes happen live, interacting with us as we bullshit. And you can have little fun japes and jabs as you need. And we'll share things in the Discord with you. You also get reviews and recos. The movie we're going to talk about today started as a partial reco of sorts. We have a 31 Days of Horror event that happens every year, and that's where it sounds exactly like it is. I write up a movie every day of October. I did something special last year for 2025 in which I wrote up an afterthought of all the movies that didn't make it. And this was on there. And I told our patrons, I said, hey,
there's a reason.
I said, hey, patrons, be on the lookout for this one in the future as a punishment film, because I watched about 15 minutes of this film back in October, and I said, this movie is fucking bonkers and shit. And so...
Oh my fucking God. It's shameful. Is what it is.
Yeah. I said, hey, patrons, this movie's bonkers and shit, so be on the lookout for it to be a punishment film in the future. And so here we are today. You get all that stuff, and on top of that, you get an exclusive monthly podcast, and we're starting a brand new series in January called God is Not Forever, a guide to kicking God's dumb ass.
Killing, not just kicking his ass, ending his life.
So, yep, we have all that going on. Sign up, $5 a month. It gets you everything you could need. Patreon.com/Halloween is forever.
Yeah, check it out. It's going to be really fun. You get all our old Patreon exclusive podcast series. There's about a bajillion extra hours on there. If you can't get enough of our stupid bullshit, you give us just a mere $5 a month. Less than it's like buying us a beer. And you get so much content.
It's cheaper than fast food now. Isn't that great?
It is way cheaper. You want to hear something fucked up, Steve? You just really... one of my daughters had a indoor soccer game yesterday. We're stopping on the way home. We had shit we had to do, right? So we're in a little bit of a rush. So we should go out to lunch or something like that on a Saturday after the soccer game. My daughter scored her first goal of the season. She was very excited. Yeah, so we said, "Where do you want to go?" We had to stop at Walmart because I had to buy pretend pirate weapons for my costume, right? So we stop at a Chipotle, right? She wants to go to Chipotle. Okay, fine. I can eat a slop bowl. I have no problem eating an overpriced slop bowl. We go into this place. Now, this is the Newcastle, Pennsylvania Chipotle. If you're familiar with Newcastle, Pennsylvania, it's got a lot of great old school places to eat. I'd steer clear of the Chipotle in Newcastle. Not only was everything just cold and horrible, Chipotle is like, it's always the same. It's just a damn slop bowl. It's fine, right? Rice, some chicken, if you want, some salsa, some guac, whatever. Not only was everything cold, the guy was so fucking high behind the serving us. He was new. You could tell he was brand new. Yeah. He hadn't worked there long, and he was so stoned. My youngest daughter, who's 9, was like, she went to like the Build Your Own Taco Bar. Yeah. He started grabbing the giant burrito tacos, like the ones that are like a foot across. Yeah. I was like, no, those are too big for a child's taco.
No.
That's not
for her.
That's how he does. So we're like helping him through like making our food because he's so fucked up. And then he just way overcharged us. We had lunch, 2 children, 2 adults. It's like $70. I'm like, that can't be right. That can't be right, sir.
That's not right.
You're gonna need to go back to the register and figure that out. He like triple charged us for stuff. It was a tough experience at the Chipotle. He was riding the struggle bus. The kid. I felt for him.
It's a rough one. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's probably first day on the job, left alone. It's a Saturday, so everybody doesn't give a shit to begin with.
Yeah. So speaking of fast food, it is very expensive. It should not be $70 for lunch, but
No.
it is quite expensive. Yeah, give me $5 so I can overpay for Chipotle.
Give Brian money so he can feed his children at the Chipotle.
For God's sakes, they're hungry. They're hungry. They need slop bowls.
We're addicted to slop bowls. I had a slop bowl for breakfast. I like to make rice and sausage, and you throw a little peanut butter in the rice. It's the slop bowl.
Oh, a little Thai, like a little Thai kind of inspired thing.
Yeah, you throw some hot sauce in there too. Yeah, it's a decent slop bowl.
I like that. We eat a lot of rice slop bowls around the house. I've been on the ramen kick.
Oh yeah, ramen rules.
I've been eating a lot of ramen. And I like to throw a little like tablespoon of the crunchy peanut butter into my ramen noodles.
Oh yeah, sick. Yeah.
As well. Make it a little creamy. Maybe chop up a couple green onions in there. A little chili crisp. Make me hungry. All right. What doesn't make me hungry, and actually the opposite, makes me physically ill to my stomach, is a movie from 2025 called Home Sweet Home Rebirth. I did not know until I was 2/3 the way through the movie, and I was on my 5th break where I just had to get up and walk away for the 5th time, that this movie is based on a video game, right? Which is not surprising, because video game movies, although there are some okay ones, are notoriously bad. I actually, during my notes after finding that out, referred to this movie as Home Sweet Home Rebirth, aka the Polar Express to Cloverfield, mostly because of the weird Uncanny Valley AI shit in this, or Yuva Bowl Presents A Christmas Carol, because it is a bit of a redemption, Ebenezer Scrooge type of thing. Are you familiar with this video game, Steve? I've never heard of this. I don't play a ton of video games, so I have no fucking idea what Home Sweet Home is.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with it either. Like, it's what got me in the door to first watch it back in October. I was like, I've never heard of this video game. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And so I started.
It's not like Resident Evil. It's not like a big cultural phenomenon. I thought maybe it's like a young, a kid's game that we wouldn't know about or something. But yeah, it doesn't seem even to be that popular.
Yeah. It seems
maybe overseas, maybe abroad.
I think it's more popular overseas, because I did eventually look up the game, and boy, I don't think the game has anything to do with this movie at all, because the game seems to be, along the lines of like the new Resident Evils that are in first person.
Okay.
So it's along those lines. Okay. It's along the lines of like, I don't know if you're familiar with like the Amnesia series or the Outlast.
Yeah, sure.
It's along those lines of like Amnesia or Outlast. It was made in Thailand. And so like it has like some cultural ties to Thailand and like, their ghost mythology and everything. But like all this shit about the wizards and the giant flaming skeleton, I don't think those are in the game at all, ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I just assumed that this was all context that was lost on me that's in the game. But it also doesn't surprise me to learn that it's not, because this just reeks of like, we just want the pitch to be convincing enough where they pay us to put it on Amazon Prime. And then we are going to, pollute a river in, Thailand somewhere with our, data farm, while we make AI create 3/4 of a movie for us. And then we, smear some more shit on it, make it seem not entirely AI driven, and then package it and fucking ship it off.
I wish I knew how much AI was involved in this film. I wish I knew how much this film cost. Like, every detail about this film is basically hidden aside from the cast and crew. You
can't find anything about it.
Yeah, they are ashamed of this film, and they are just. That's why it just got thrown on Amazon Prime as just like, hey, here's fucking slop. Tune into it.
Yeah. I mean, they are definitely trying to bury this film and any information about it. Um, Also, by the way, Rebirth makes it seem like it's a sequel. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like all the Silent Hill and Resident Evil movies and stuff. So this is just a grift. Like it reeks of a grift. Like it probably cost, like $1.5 million to make, but the carbon footprint of this movie is like Taylor Swift level. Like it's fucking horrifying because it's just AI driven bullshit. It's currently on Letterboxd sitting at a balmy 1.7. I gave it a half star, and I hope that whoever is involved in this never lives down the shame of this piece of shit movie. The director, we've talked about this before, always a bad sign when you see two names in the director.
It's
yeah.
I mean, the more names you add to something, the less likely it is to be good. Obviously, there's exceptions, like the Coen brothers. There's 2 of them, but
sure, yeah,
these 2 guys who are the writer-directors, I have never heard of. I've heard of them less.
Nope.
I've heard of them less than I've heard of the video game this is based off of.
mm-hmm. Yeah, they have movies. They both have just a couple of credits, over the last decade. And no one has seen these movies. They are, again, probably also similar AI drivel, or I mean, some of them 2018, obviously not, but like CGI dog shit. It's Alexander Kiesel and Stefan Hacker. Yeah, they kind of worked on the same movies together. It looks like at least a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be blacklisted and never work again. Makes me want to fucking puke.
Well, the thing is, they got their start as special effects guys. So, like, they've been working as special effects in Germany for however long. And like none of their credits are that, that amazing. They have nothing that really stands out. And so I don't know how these guys got plucked out of German obscurity to then direct what seems to be a relatively big budget action horror film.
Yeah.
But
I think they had a like, here's what I'm imagining. Here's what I'm speculating. Mm-hmm. They were visual effects artists, right? And they were out doing coke with, a studio exec somewhere and said, if you give us a couple $1 million, we will make a movie for you that looks like it's made for way, way more, because we have this grift planned and it's AI driven. It's all, and they just were like, they sold this idea of like a get rich quick shit movie that doesn't cost anything. And the person who greenlit it had just enough, had worked their way through just enough of that 8 ball to say yes. And then obviously it happened, but didn't really work out like they promised. So hopefully they never work again. That's what my plan. That's what the idea that I've built in my mind.
You're probably not too far off. They definitely convinced people somewhere to give them money. And I think I'm looking through the producers right now to see, like, who's really to blame, because it's all about the producers who gave them money. There's one guy, his name appears a lot because it's like Altit Media. Like, his name's Dean Altit. What a terrible name to begin with.
That is a tough one.
He's Altit.
Altit Media.
Yeah,
is honestly though a great name.
It's good, but it's bad. Like it's good.
Yeah.
It's good for something else. Like if you're producing National Lampoon movies, Dean Altit presents National Lampoon's whatever. Sure, fine.
Mm-hmm.
And he has one other film that I've seen. He makes like a lot of mid-level should be in Redbox kind of shit. But he made a movie. He produced a movie called The Killer's Game, which is actually like a lot of fun. It stars Batista and like a bunch of other just kind of Redbox level martial artists. But that film goes pretty hard. So you should check that one out. But then I'm looking at like these other producers, Daniel Diamond, and he is producer of shit. He is a producer of shit.
Yeah.
He made the Tekken film in 2010. He produced Big Stan starring Rob Schneider. So like,
Oh no.
yeah, he has a lot of shit. And then another guy, Jesse Weiner, just a whole bunch of I've never heard of that films. And so like these are your three kind of Western producers, and then it seems like everybody else is like a Thai producer that they tricked and probably grifted out of money, that I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The performers are not far off from this, from what you would expect, right? It is essentially the guy who has the most credits is Michelle Maroney, or Marone, I guess, who plays the mall mass shooter, the bad guy. Mech is the character. He is in he's got a decent amount of film credits, nothing you've ever seen, some of which just looks like potentially like softcore porn also. But he's in a few films that do look like, actual legitimate productions with real actors and directors and stuff like that. William Moseley is the lead here. He's been in a lot of movies. And I should say he's got the most credits. But almost all of them were as a child actor, right? So he is by far most well known for the Chronicles of Narnia movies. He played the lead, or one of the leads, which I've not seen any of these movies, but he played the leads in all the Chronicle of Narnia movies like 20 years ago, right? He's been in a lot of like kids fantasy movies. He was also in something that immediately went on my to watch list, which is a 2-minute short from 2011, which I've seen stills of and stuff, but I don't know what it's from. It's the Captain Planet with Don Cheadle.
Yeah, that one's. I think it was a Funny or Die short.
I was gonna say it was like a web video. Yeah, I feel like
because I've seen it.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize he was Wheeler in that. But yeah, it's Don Cheadle as Captain Planet. And then basically the thing is Captain Planet goes, oh yeah, all the people are destroying the planet. And then he kills everybody. Well, and I'll be honest with you, when I saw clips of this, here and there over the years on social media, I always thought it was an SNL skit. But apparently, yeah, it's some sort of like web video or whatever. So this guy, William Moseley, like, not to be too down on him, but the only thing he's been on in recent years are like Redbox Mel Gibson movies and shit, right? His best career, years are behind him as a former child star. So you could see how he could get mixed up in something like this. And listen, no disrespect, he's a working actor. And then the rest of them are almost all Thai performers of which I'm not familiar with. Although I will say, the guy who plays Chan, which is one of the most abysmal performances I've ever seen. Not only just because like his face is AI, and probably half the time he's acting is heavily AI influenced. He just shouldn't be an actor. I think he's a singer, if I'm not mistaken. I looked up his name on here because he's one of the only people. Well, he is the only person on here, but one of the only people you see. He's just got his credit. He's credited as Chan, but the performer is just one name, and it's Alexander. So usually when that's the case, they're a musician, right? Or something like that. But I couldn't find much about him either. He is he's got mostly no credits. Like he's got like 10 credits on IMDb, and a lot of them are listed as uncredited. And then on IMDb, he is credited as Alexander Lee, or Alexander Lee Isubio. So I don't think he's a singer. I think he's just a bad actor. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking. I saw a Thai singer named Alexander, but it wasn't Alexander Lee.
Yeah.
So Alexander Lee, okay, Chinese, South Korean singer, rapper, actor, and host.
Okay, so he is.
He is a member of the South Korean boy band U Kiss. Like U-boat, but you kiss.
Like U-boat. Okay, so that makes more sense then, because
he debuted in the Philippines as the main character in the 105 episode television series My Korean Jagiya. He is currently active as television host. Okay, so he's like a Ryan Seacrest type, but far less famous, it sounds like.
I think the one thing that's fair to say is like there is a shit ton of bad performances in this, but I think it's fair to say that all the Thai performers are mainly hindered by the fact that they're being asked to do it all in English. It's not, and they're being directed by Germans. So it feels like this film is run through Babelfish like repeatedly, because it's German directors directing Thai actors to perform English performances, and it just does not come out like well at all. And again, that's got to be producers and these directors just like, yeah, we can just do big American action film, big scary American action film. We can do.
Yeah, skeleton, stomping, crush, explosion,
demon,
screaming,
watch out. So it's like, okay, I guess we'll give them the money. And then they just hire a bunch of people who do not speak like English. And we're like,
and the rest went right up their nose.
Yeah, sound it out. That's the other thing about this film that really has me just twiddling my thumbs thinking, like, what's going on here? Because you have these German directors and one English actor. William Moseley isn't American. He's playing American in the film, but he's British.
Oh, yeah.
What are all these white guys doing in Thailand?
Well, that's a great question. It's supposed to be, in this instance, Jake, who's William Moseley, has married a Thai woman, Prang, but I don't trust him. Anytime you see a white guy looks like him walking around Thailand, it raises suspicions, is all I'm saying.
And what are all these white guys doing in Thailand? How did they get him, who, like, yeah, he's a working actor, but like,
sure,
they get him specifically to sign up and they don't get any other white actors to sign up. It just, I don't know. It reads a little suspect.
Well, here's what I look like. He's got a real twink vibe to him, right? And here's my theory. Mel Gibson brought him over there as a front to so he doesn't creep out the locals.
Sure.
Because Mel Gibson is just an old, fat ghoul, who's over there obviously to do something sketchy in Thailand. And he's like, let me bring this younger man over here so, he can be my in. I won't creep everybody out as much if I have him around. Somehow Mel Gibson has become the villain of this story, and
Mel Gibson's the villain of many stories.
That's what I'm saying. This doesn't seem that far-fetched. So we start out, this movie is two things that will make you hate this movie. Many things, but two things I think stand above all else. One, everything has a glossy, fake sheen of AI texture. And the fight scenes are like not just CGI, they feel like one of those AI slop videos of like, Instagram accounts where it's like, people, the like people of Walmart with like the people falling off the ladders, Walmart, what I'm talking about? Like it just kind of, the fight scenes kind of just feel like that. Everything has this gloss of uncanny valley.
Yeah.
The people, their faces, their facial expressions. It's almost like they came in and shot for like a couple of days. I will also say this isn't just my speculation. This is the internet's speculation. It's on the screen. You can see this is like unnatural, uncanny valley vibes. Like my lizard brain kicked in and went like, no, this isn't real. This isn't real pictures. But on the internet, you can tell it has kind of like been scrubbed a little bit. I don't want to say scrubbed, but you could tell they are trying to bury that this is a bullshit AI driven movie.
Yeah, this movie doesn't get a lot of push for anything, and that's just because even if we're not talking about AI, I don't know how much is AI and how much isn't. Something like a lot, like you're saying, a lot of it does reek of like possible AI, like the establishing shots of that temple monastery.
Oh wait, that is straight AI.
And then the sheen that's on everything, that's also the color correction. It has one of the harshest, highest contrast orange blue lookup tables that you could ever employ to it. It looks like the cover of every Battlefield video game, where it's like where it's a guy with an orange halo behind him and then a blue cityscape behind that. Like that's the color timing of this film, and it is incredibly harsh to look at. It's a gross film.
It's bad to look at. It's bad to watch. The other thing I have to bring up is it is so vague in its storytelling and what's happening. And I don't mind, I don't need everything, spoon fed to me in terms of the plot. But this is so vague that it made me assume that there was a bunch of lore in the video game, which I assume is true to a certain extent, but it feels like it's just a bunch of video game lore of a game I've obviously never played and never heard of. But now hearing you talk about like how some of this stuff isn't in the game, it makes me wonder if that's true.
The game has nothing to do with anything that happens in the movie. I believe you're just kind of like investigating a haunted house in the game. And so all of this shit with the demons and the magicians and the special weapons, all that shit, I think is just made up. Just made up for the movie.
That's wild, because it feels like it's pulled out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
And so it just made me think, oh, that must be a thing in the game that I'm not getting the reference because I've never played the game. But yeah, that's wild, because this is so arbitrary. The rules, all the things that go into this just feel so arbitrary. And there's this one guy, Chan, who's played by, the great Alexander that we talked about, that he is just like a walking exposition dump. Yeah. And he is like just there to explain things. He is essentially like the walking. What was the little thing that walked around with you in some of the early Fallout games that just explained the world to you? Like one of those characters in a video game that's just like, the learning curve's a little tough during the tutorial part of the game, so we're just going to have like this little person that floats around beside you and tells you what to do. That's kind of what he is in this movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So I'm back on the Wikipedia. Okay, the knife, the Nona knife, that's real. That is part of the game. And I think some of this, there was an occultist in the game that was collecting souls. Okay. And the hindrance is a thing in the game.
Sure.
Other than that, I don't think too much is similar.
Not the stupid semi-automatic flintlock pistol.
I don't think that's not part of the game. It might be. I don't think it is. Like I said, I haven't played it. Neither of us have played the game because neither of us have even really heard about it. But yeah, I think a lot of it is just some Western producers got a hold of this property that was like a cheap property to get a hold of and made a fucking movie out of it. And it made a bastardized version like most video game movies are, that are, loosely at best tied to the property that they're being based off of. And yeah, they slapped it up and they were like, I don't know, get a fucking white guy, put him in there, and we'll sell it to the international market. And then the one number you can find on this film is how much it made in theaters.
I saw this.
It came out in April of 2025 and it made $282,000.
That's not a great amount of money. That is not a good amount of money. Even on probably not a tremendously expensive movie. Obviously, this was made for streaming. I'm sure they tried to sell this to Netflix and they were like, no, thank you.
Pass.
And then it ended up, buried on Prime.
Yeah, imagine Netflix.
No promotion.
Imagine Netflix saying no to your fucking Southeast Asian film. Like, they take everything. They take all of it, and they said no to this? Ew.
Yeah. Rightfully so. I think Tubi would say no to this. But anyway, no, they wouldn't. Let's be honest. They would not. All right. So this starts with this guy who looks like a stereotypical villain, right? He is running. Something's chasing him. He basically gets fried in an alley by, this, he looks like a Temu X-Man villain, basically. Just fries him in an alley. And when the cops find him, there's this AI generated circle of blood that just is like flowing but running nowhere on the wall. It just looks so dumb and bad, and it's a reoccurring thing. It's like a portal or something. It's a symbol of a portal. Who fucking knows? It's garbage. But this is how the movie starts, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm in for it. I'm in for it right from the beginning.
This is about the time I in my write-up, I for our patrons, I was like, I watched about 15 minutes of this movie because I think after we get to the kind of next travel commercial that we see, like the next couple scenes are basically just a travel commercial with some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard. And I was just like, oh, this movie's fucking bad. Yeah,
it's a different level of bad. We get that, like, when we get the kid, like the monk, Chan as a kid, basically, and he has like this vision of what seems like a totally different movie we aren't watching. And I'm like, and honestly, at this point, when I started watching, I was like, oh, that must have been like the callback to the first movie. Cause like this is Rebirth. Right. So this must be a sequel. So I was like, oh, that's just content. That's just scenes from the first movie, like for people to remind them what happened. And then I was like, no, it's not. It's not. It's just not. Yeah. There is no other movie.
Yeah.
So this is how just disjointed this whole experience is. But we also get all these AI slop backgrounds. I mean, they're not even as good as like, this scenes in Instagram, and maybe this is just the nerdy shit that but it's like, where would you love to, what environment would you like to exist in a fantasy, story or whatever. And it'll have like this cool mountain, and then they'll have like a dungeon, and it'll be like, what I mean? Those just like AI generated, images. That's what the shit looks like. Like that's what the setting looks like.
I saw one recently that like, it's so funny how fucking stupid this shit is getting. It was basically like, just kind of like the normal kind of colonial houses you see across the Midwest, like, in PA, Ohio, just any suburban neighborhood that was built in the 50s in the Midwest. It was that, but like, what if the facades were skulls? Like, what? It's like, what the fuck is this for? Like,
who is this for?
It's like, what if your house had a skull on it, and you walked into the skull for your house?
Hell yeah. What if you lived in a boomer skull neighborhood? It's I saw one. Again, this speaks to like my interest, which this is actually creepy to think about because anybody who's friends with Steve on social media knows he loves to like creep on real estate like go on like real estate sites and look at like weird houses and shit. And so, and you also love like metal and horror movies. So like, I feel like that was made just for you. You like houses? What if they was skulls, Steve? And mine is literally, it had all this fantasy stuff. And it was like, and it was like, which of these bars would you like to hammer brewskis with the bros at? It's just like like a medieval tavern with a bunch of knights and stuff, and then it's like a woodland bar, and it's got like and it's just like, oh, this guy likes dork shit but also beer. Like, so I feel like these are just made specifically for us, and we're in a simulation.
The algorithm knows how to target. It does know how to do that. It doesn't know how to make anything good or improve life, but it knows how to target you and go, hey, dork ass, would you like this? No, I wouldn't. It looks like shit. Okay, I'll try again.
Nuh-uh. You love this. You love this shit. All right.
It just starts bullying.
I'll be back in a minute.
Get out of here, AI.
So the monk kid is got to try to stop the necromancer from coming back to bring hell to earth. I don't know. It's like 90 seconds into the movie, and we've been just handed all of this. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but to say it's been 3 minutes is not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
And we've been handed so much non-connecting, like almost lore, that it just, again, it made me think that there was a movie that I didn't see before this, and that's why I didn't understand it.
Same.
But that's obviously not true. So we have Jake and his lame-ass family, his wife, his daughter. They're on vacation in Bangkok. And he's doing work shit. He won't get off the phone. And the dialogue also, like the script feels very AI.
It's
generated as well.
It's the most...
very stilted. Like, it just, everyone talks like robots. But it could be that language barrier thing that you mentioned.
I think it's both. Like, I think... because the script is very just like trite, and it's the most common tropes that you've ever heard of. Like,
it's like, honey, why are you working when you are supposed to be having family time? And he's like, but work needs me for productivity.
Yeah.
Like, that's how everything sounds.
But work needs me for being productive. And she's like, but we are family. It is time for family. We need you now. Okay, honey, I understand. Hey, daughter, chocolate ice cream. It's like, it's that shit over and over and over again. And it's the most like trite, but it doesn't like really connect, and it is lazy, and nobody gives a fuck. And you take a shitty script like that, and again, have it written and directed by two guys from Germany telling Thai people how to perform it. It doesn't come out good, like at all. Like, it couldn't. No, it just couldn't. It's not. It comes out funny.
It can't.
It comes out funny, very funny, especially because the daughter, she has like no acting credits, and she can't act. Like, she doesn't know what she's doing.
I don't think she's real.
She might not be.
Like, I really don't think she exists. Humans don't talk like this. The best thing that is ever going to happen in regards to this movie is if they do a riff tracks of it. That is going to be the peak of its existence. That's going to be its only sole purpose, is as riff tracks fodder. The editor, and this is why I think a lot of this is AI generated too, is because the editor is on meth and is a robot. Like, the way it's cut together is so frantic, and it will show a 1 second clip of like a shot of something that is like, obviously, if it was real, would need set up and would be a little bit more carefully done. But because it's AI generated slop and costs nothing to create, essentially costs no time, no effort to create, they just are like, fine, cut it in for 1.5 seconds.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah. Like, we have to use it because we probably don't have the coverage to cut to anything else, which that happens a number of times in the film as well. Is like, they just cut to something because they don't have the coverage to complete the scene, and then they'll cut back. And so, like, you get this, like, the movie's terribly paced, the way it cuts between A and B stories, but they'll just cut to a thing, because they have it to use it, but also they probably don't have anything else to use. They're like, it may even just been simple as like, oh, fuck, we're missing coverage. Hey, can you drum something up in AI real quick? Because we're not going to film anything. So just make it an AI. We're not going back. We're not coming back with our cameras. We have our money and our Coke and our ladyboys. So fuck off.
Yeah, I've got all the things that I need. Yeah, so the daughter goes missing in the street. She teleports like, across the river or something. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like the spatial reasoning of this scene makes no sense. They're like, you should be working, or you should not be working. You should be doing family things. And he's like, I know, honey. Let's have fun as a family. Where is daughter? Oh, no. And then they run around for a while looking for her. And then they see her like 500 yards away on the other side of a river. Like, how'd she get over there?
Yeah, like it's like a chase scene almost, because they're not chasing after anything, but they're running through all of these Thai markets along the river. And like, you run so far, you've gone so far. She couldn't have gotten that far. She's a little girl with tiny legs. She couldn't have gotten that far.
She's like 9. Yeah. Like, how did she get that far? She somehow got 4 kilometers away, like in 30 seconds.
I just quickly wanted to jump back to one of my favorite lines of dialogue that comes from this kid. Is when they first get into their hotel room. She's not real, so don't feel bad. But God, it's so bad. When they first get in their hotel room, she's just rambling, and she's like, "Mommy, they said we can see the river from our hotel room. There it is. Oh, can we go see it?" What the fuck? Like, you're seeing it. You're seeing it, and then she's asked, "Can we go see it?" Like, and it's just delivered in this one line, like just all together at once. I was almost expecting, like, over throughout the runtime of this movie, for the kid, every time we saw him on screen, to get like bigger and wetter eyes, and eventually just be like a weird kitten or something. Like, it's just not a real child. Doesn't act like a real child. None of the mannerism, nothing. It's just saying things to garner sympathy. Yeah, that's what this computer child is there for. It's just trying to give off the most "don't punch me" vibes as possible. Yeah. They eventually find her, and this monk has found her, and he's just sitting there on like this like park bench, you know, whatever. The texture of his head, because he's supposed to like have, you know, be bald, you know, classic, you know, Shaolin-ish type of monk look, you know, bald head. The texture of his head is just pure uncanny valley. His stunted delivery, it's just the Polar Express, but 20 years later. Yeah. You know, just upsetting. It doesn't look real. It's upsetting. You're watching it going, "Ooh, what am I watching? None of this reads as human." One of my favorite things, and this is a great example of what you're getting from this movie. They had just chased no one right through the streets for the last 5 minutes. Finally find the kid. I can't call it a kid. My instinct is to call it an it, because I'm like, that's not human. That's not human. So they find him, and the dad is like, "Oh my God, you found her. Thank you so much." They show the dad at one point. He's just standing there talking, maybe breathing a little heavy. Then they cut to the monk saying something. Then they cut back to the dad, and he's drenched in sweat, literally dripping sweat. And the sweat is so fake. It looks like his skin is melting off a little bit. If you like pause it, it doesn't look like real sweat at all. And then they cut back to him, and there's no sweat. And then they go to a scene later when they part ways with the monk, and his shirt is drenched with sweat. Yeah. So it's just like the inconsistencies of this is just, it's done with zero care, and it's all fake. Yeah. Yeah. It just, again, it's going to beg the question, how much of this is AI? How much, like, you can't tell for sure. Yeah. But it has so many like markers of either just being poorly made, or like that, like I said before, like the post processing of the high contrast and the colors and everything just makes it even hard to look at for a long time. So it's like one of those, like, you make the AI first and then you put the post-processing over top to marry everything together. And then you have to like sit there and study. It's like, how many layers of effects am I looking through right now?
Well, and the thing is too, and why I'm like, just assume it's AI is because CGI, like digital art, to put the sweat on him and stuff like that takes a person to do, right? And it takes a lot of work, right? Maybe not physical work, but it takes a lot of, you know, a virtual artist to go in, a virtual effects artist to go in and do all that. If they were going to pay someone to do it and make it look good and care about sweat dripping down his face and stuff like that, then they would make it at least consistent from one shot to a shot 2 seconds later.
Right.
But the fact that it's not, and it's just so inconsistent and choppy from time to time, makes me think that they just had AI do it. And then we're like, however it comes out, that's how it comes out. That's how we're going to, you know, that's how we're going to put it in the can that way. You know, it just reeks of not caring.
Yeah. And like when you look at the credits of all the VFX, like the VFX list is not big. Like there's not a lot of, you know, VFX credits. Whereas like when you look at any other, you know, big kind of major film, you know, especially like if you look at a Marvel film, like they,
sure,
90%
it's hundreds and hundreds of people.
90% of those credits are VFX artists. There's less people working on VFX on this film than there are just like cameras or stunts, you know, like it's, I think it's maybe about 20 people, you know, just doing VFX for this. So it's like, how many corners are being cut to do it is, and I don't know.
All the corners. Yeah. This is a circular room. There are no corners. They have all been cut. So we get an explanation from Chan the monk that Jake is the keeper of the gates because he was born under a blood moon or some bullshit. It just, you know, whatever. He's just giving us hints that we do not care about. But, you know, they've got the daughter back. The sweat has dried, and they're like, all right, let's get back to family time. And the store, this is one of my favorite lines. It was just an example of how stunted it was. They're going to see the wife's mother because she's Thai, and they've come to Bangkok to visit grandma, right? And after all that happens, and they're like, don't run away, little girl, blah, blah, blah. They're like, okay, let's go get grandma a great gift, shall we? That is a line by the protagonist of this movie. So they do this thing. They're sitting there again. This is written by a fucking computer because they're sitting there having, you know, chocolate. Let's have chocolate. You will not be mad at me if I provide you with chocolate ice cream, daughter. And she's like, of course not, father. And they're sitting there, and they do this scene where she's like, I want to take karate classes. And he's like, sure, you can do that. And he's like, do you pinky swear, father? Pinky swears cannot be broken. And it's just like this, again, a computer trying to make human connections, and it doesn't work. And then the mom comes over and she's like, honey, you gave her chocolate treat? It's all over shirt, and we're going to see grandma. It's completely unnatural. It just, nothing reads human.
It doesn't read human, and at the same time, it reads like, you know, like you're saying, it's a computer trying to pretend to be human because, you know, it's such a like tropey thing of like, I want to do this thing, Dad. Don't you want to, you know, like, will you support me? And it's like, yeah.
Father, please establish something we can call back to later. That is heartwarming.
Yeah. And then,
yes, pinky swear.
Yeah, it's setting up these things that happen later because one, it's the pinky swear, and then two, it's the she's like, can I take karate? You were taught karate at police school, so I would like to take karate as well. So now we know that he knows how to fight when that happens sort of later.
Yeah, it's just like it's just very procedurally written. Okay, so a mass shooter shows up at the mall. Why? How? Yeah, it's so heavy-handed. A scar-faced, glassy-eyed mass shooter shows up at the mall with a fucking trench coat. It is just the most on-the-nose thing ever. And he's the guy. It's the guy from the beginning alley scene. You could clearly tell that's him. And he just starts just indiscriminately shooting people in a mall. This is something that if it was in an American movie would have to be done with a degree of sensitivity and gravity, because obviously we have mass shootings fucking every, constantly in our country, in our culture. In Thailand, probably not. Right? They probably never have this shit happen. So they're just like, this is like an American, like this is as American as Monday Night Football. They're just like, this is a typical American day. You go to mall, eat chocolate, get mass shot at. Yeah. it just reeks. That's what it feels like.
It's playing to the audience. It's playing to an American audience of things they think they like. It's like, you like this, right? Why would you have it happen all the time if you didn't like it?
Yeah. What do you like? Fatty foods being shot at. That's what Americans love. So everyone's scattering in the mall, running around, chaos. And I mean, talk about white savior, right? The dad is like, I am the only hope because this is an American thing that's happening at the mall, a mass shooting, and I'm the only American cop here. So I obviously am the only person who can stop this. So there's this long conversation of him trying to convince his wife and daughter to just go back to their hotel room while he goes to stop the mass shooter, because he's the only American in Bangkok and he's the only one who's equipped to deal with this thing. Even though, you would think within 5 seconds there'd be 100 police officers there. No, there's one cop who shows up 10 minutes from now. So yes, he is the great white hope here. At this point, by the way, guys, we're 15 minutes into the movie. That is no exaggeration.
It's not.
We are 15 minutes in. He's the way he yells at the guy, because he gets a hold of a gun from a cop who shows up and gets shot, or a security guard, whatever, gets shot. He gets a gun from him, and he gets the jump on the mass shooter, and he goes, "Drop your weapon." And I blurt laughed when he said, "Drop your weapon." He's the worst cop in the world. He doesn't shoot the mass shooter. He doesn't tackle him. He doesn't do anything. He tries to hold him at gunpoint and then has a long conversation with him. Allows himself to get outdrawn. He literally has his gun traced on the guy. The guy has an semi-automatic rifle, I think it is, some sort of like machine gun, right?
Yeah.
At his waist, and he gets quick drawed by the bad guy, and then just hides behind some clothes. There's this woman. This is a callback later. She's on her phone, hiding behind this is like a clothing store, like a rack of clothes. She's not talking on the phone. She's just on the phone. We don't know why. She's like a, let's say 20-something woman. And it's not like she's talking on speaker, but Cop Dad, being the worst cop in the world, draws attention to her location, is like, "Woman, put your phone away." And the bad guy's like, "Aha, phone woman." Bah, 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 bah. Guns her down. It's like, dude, you called attention to her position. He didn't know she was there.
In fairness to Cop Dad, phone woman was not really hiding well. She's hiding behind like a bookcase that has an empty back to it. Like it's just shelving that you would see in a display.
She's
in a
not
store.
doing a good job.
It's not she's not behind anything. Like there's plenty of people that are hiding behind makeup counters and service desks, they're not getting shot. She's out in the open, basically. And then, he does draw attention to her, but
yeah. No one's making human decisions here. At one point they're talking, they're exchanging. He's talking about the bad guy's got like a doll. He's found a doll from like a dead child and is like talking to the doll, calling it Mitzi. And he's just like, and at one point, instead of, again, shooting him, maybe, the cop dad goes, "You're insane." And this is not what the closed caption said. But it sounds like the bad guy goes, "No, I'm not, shit ass." But I forget what he actually said, but I was dying because I wrote down, I think he said some sort of insult and said, "No, I'm not something, shit something." But it sounds like he said shit ass, and I thought that was very funny. Anyway, this is some sort of ritual, I guess. The mass shooting is a way to get the cop to kill him, to complete a ritual, right? This single and we're just getting this from context clues from nonsense that the shooter is saying. This single Thai cop shows up, and they've each got their guns traced on him. I believe one of them has shot him. I believe Jake, cop dad, has shot the bad guy. As they go in to like arrest him, he does okay, so he like self detonates himself, kind of. I don't know how else to describe it. He blows himself up, but not with like a bomb. He seems to have blown himself up from the inside. Okay, this explosion creates a skull. Okay, like a fire and smoke skull above the shopping center. And then I'm struggling to find out how to describe this, but essentially like shoots isolated like Super Mario style fireballs around the city.
Yeah. So it's the scene from Ghostbusters where they shut down the containment tank and all the ghosts escape, but done in a lot shittier version because it's like Super Mario stars, like you said, and they all just go about the city. And then for some reason, the sadness happens.
Yes. So I have that in my notes. It's the sadness, but like it also makes me guilty that we're talking about Ghostbusters and the sadness, which are two exceptional movies, in this movie that is absolute dog shit. But yes, the sadness essentially happens around the city. And what we mean by that, if you've not seen the sadness, first of all, you should. It's a fucking wild ass movie. Everyone just becomes not zombies, but just like psychotic, murderous, rapists. Like all, not just inhibitions go out the window, but they are this like virus that affects your mind and causes you to do the most depraved shit imaginable. Right. This is what's happening around town, except for it's mostly just punching. It's a punching virus.
Yeah, it's
essentially,
it is a Black Friday. It's a Black Friday virus is what it is. Everybody is just kind of whooping on each other.
Yeah. Kicking, stomping, and punching virus.
Like there's never like any extreme amount of violence that's happening, but they are doing the whole kind of like rage zombie thing. If they were just like kind of aggravated. That's about it is. It's just like they're aggravated.
Everyone turns into like soccer hooligans.
Yeah. It's not so much a rage virus as it is an aggravated assault virus. It stinks.
I said mom and daughter go. This is my note. Mom and daughter go outside, but everyone is going all the sadness on each other, but it's not in a cool or fun way. They're just punching, running, yelling. We get the shaky cam fights with like between Jake, cop dad, and these just like faceless ghouls. You know what I mean? We're not really seeing them because it's all computer animated. We get introduced to the cop, the Thai cop. His name is Arat. which I love the idea of. I was hoping this was going to turn to like a buddy cop of like Jake and a rat, and it was like a Ratatouille type situation. Because his name in the closed captions is spelled A-R-A-T.
Yeah,
a rat.
Yep. I mean, that's what his name is.
Yeah, but the mom's decision is just not believable at all. They're just stumbling through the streets. They end up going into like a convenience store or something. Meanwhile, Jake and a rat go back in time. Basically, they get launched into what we learn is the hindrance, I think, which is like this purgatory state for people who have like unfinished business or something. I don't fucking know. And then poor rat, we barely knew ye. He gets killed literally 5 seconds later.
I was wondering, like, what was the purpose? And this speaks to AI writing, is introducing somebody in a way that makes it seem important and then not understand.
Yeah, like we learn his name. Like, yeah.
Like him and Jake develop a rapport, and like they both stop the shooter together, and then they like, obviously they die together and go to the hindrance together. And it's like, oh, okay, so maybe we have these two A-B stories going of the mother and the daughter are going to run through the normal world that's going through the sadness, and Jake and a rat are going to run through this fucking, other side of the realm, and they're going to fight ghosts together. Great. Grand. Nope. Let's fucking kill a rat. Fuck him. we learned.
Like, dude, why did we even bother to learn his name?
Like, he has too many lines is really what it is. Like, if he had no lines, sure, all right. But he's like,
we talked to him for a long time, and then he immediately dies.
Yeah, we talked to him for a long time. He offers like some good insights. He's like, where are all the other people at? There was an explosion. Why aren't there bodies? And you're like, yeah, rat, you're on the jazz. You realize that you are Sixth Sense right now. You're dead.
Yeah. I think what it is they needed exposition, and they didn't want Jake to just say it to himself. So a rat just showed up to be Jake's internal monologue for 4 minutes, and AI goes, that won't be weird. That's a solution.
Yeah.
But it comes across really dumb and doesn't make sense in the context of the script.
You're 100% right, because AI worked within the parameters of Chan can't be there yet, and his family can't be there because they're on the other side. I know what I'll do, says the robot. I'm going to just bring in another guy.
Yeah, just why not? We can have as many guys as we want, right? So let's do it. So Jake's fighting these baddies. They're just generic, I don't know, ghoul demons. They won't die. They do spooky, like, spider crawls and jumping up on the roof. And it's just all the most predictable shit you can imagine. All the action is bad and dumb. Like, it's shaky cam mixed with unnatural movements, mixed with just, this, like, CGI, super glossy, like, dark. Everything's dark. It's just none of the action is good. Like, the mom knocks out one of the apparently immortal fucking demon ghouls. This one looks to be 6'4", 300 pounds. She knocks him out with a baguette across the back. Like, it's just lazy as fuck. And he totally oversells it too, which I appreciate a good oversell. Yeah. She literally hits him in the back with like a baguette, and he's like, oh, fuck, blah, blah, smashes into like a shelf and like falls, knocks over the shelf.
I wouldn't be surprised if that guy was like, like maybe a comedy actor or something in Thailand. Like somebody, they would be, somebody that they would kind of
little cameo.
Because he has like these frosted side bangs to his hair. Like his hair is very, very, very well done to be a crazed.
It's very distinctive too.
To be a crazed zombie in the apocalypse. And then like, he has a certain look about him that just screams like, guest comedy actor, TV type.
He's the Carlos Mencia of Thailand.
Yeah.
He just showed up.
And then he gets fucking whacked with a baguette and falls down. It's like, oh, that's his bit. That's his bit. Remember, guys? He gets hit.
That's his bit. Oh, he's the guy. Remember how he gets hit with the baguette? That's his thing.
Gets hit with the bread. That's his thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's how out of place it seems. They stumble onto a bus, like a city bus. There's a few people on the bus. An older woman.
They don't just stumble on it. They are running through a bus depot, and then the daughter points to a bus and says, "Look, there's normal people on that bus," because she's our great exposition filter to direct us.
Yeah. Get on the normal bus. They get on. There's like an older lady. There's an older businessman, and there's a bus driver. And the businessman, like, they're just all acting just mildly inconvenienced. The people on the bus, they're not reacting in the way you would if the sadness was happening outside. Meanwhile, Jake finds another one of those weird, dumb blood portals. Yeah, they have a thing where the keys to the bus are like outside in a bag or something. And they're like, we got to go get the keys so we can drive the bus away. But then the business douche on the bus is like, I'm not getting it, and basically eventually makes the mom go out to get it. She's attacked as she's getting back on the bus. And then business douche eventually essentially sacrifices himself to save her, get back on the bus, and he gets, for his trouble, many punches and kicks. This is off-screen punches and kicks too.
This is one of those another one of those coverage things where they send the mom out and she picks up a wrench and she's standing at the bus and is looking at the bag before she makes a run to go get the keys. They cut to Jake finding the blood portal. And then they cut back to her right before she makes the run. They insert the sound of a wrench dropping because she runs for the bag without a wrench in her hands. So they insert a sound of a wrench dropping to explain why she doesn't have a wrench in her hands. But that doesn't make any sense. Why didn't she have the wrench in her hand? Like, why did she drop it?
Yeah, classic wrench drop. Those Thai ladies, when they're running for bags, always drop their wrenches. It is just, this movie's a series of Band-Aids on top of Band-Aids on top of Band-Aids. The first Band-Aid they had to cover up was that wild night of doing coke in Bangkok and, banging lady boys. And they were like, fuck, I agreed to a thing, didn't I?
Oh,
shit.
we got
and then
that
it was just
thing in the morning.
All
and that thing is an entire feature film.
Tomorrow we got to make a movie.
Fuck us.
God damn it. So Jake is now running, just indiscriminately running through the city. And he looks up and there is a giant smoldering skeleton monster that appears to be made of a skeleton that's made out of roots or something. Some sort of organic looking cord. But it has a skeleton head, and it is otherwise looks like a skeleton, but it's kind of moving and pulsing and smoldering. Parts of its body seem to be just recently were on fire. Okay. At first, when he sees this thing, it steps over a building and it sneaks up on him. And you might say to yourself, how does a 200-foot tall skeleton sneak up on you? But it does. And Jake literally is like, what the hell? He literally says, what the hell? And then for the next, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, we have Jake running from and then hiding and then running from this skeleton. The height of this skeleton varies so dramatically from shot to shot. There is a point when this skeleton looks to be, again, 200 feet tall. Very, very tall. Taller than, 90% of buildings, that you would come across in a mid-sized city, right? Then, very next second, it looks to be about 60 feet tall, like an alarmingly large skeleton, but not like a giant kaiju skeleton, right? Then, when they pull back and Jake eventually kind of escapes from it, it looks even taller. It looks like maybe it's 300 feet tall. Like the size of this skeleton varies from, if he was to pick up a person, he's holding it in his fist. Like, again, a 60-foot tall. Imagine Godzilla. Not Godzilla. King Kong. Right? Yeah. Imagine King Kong holding, Mae West in his fist. It's like he can easily hold her in his fist, right? Then he's as big as a skyscraper. You know what I mean? Like it's so wildly varying, right? There's a scene where he's like in an alley and the hand's like swiping down from the alley to get him. It looks so bad. That hand could be that big, or that hand could be as big as a football field. You know what I mean? Like it's just varies so dramatically. He just escapes inside of a building, and you're like, that creature could just stomp that building flat. Yeah. Right. But he doesn't, because it's a magic building. Sure. Right. Because it's got what I was started referring to as the twink monk, or a twunk. is inside, and it's Chan, and that's the monk he met earlier. He immediately recognized it. He has this little safe room inside his hindrance. Nobody can touch him because he's a magic twunk. So he's not in the world, they're in purgatory. This is when we're explained what the hindrance is. But his family, I guess, is in the real world still. This whole room just looks like an AI fucking screensaver. You know what I mean? It's just everything, the fire, the cauldron. It's his little mystical room. Again, it looks like that. Would you crush beer here with the bros? Like, that's what they're hanging out in this room. Yeah. It looks like one of those like fall asleep at night apps where they just show you calming pictures and calming videos. And that's the environment that he's in.
It has that like, we went to Harry Potter world type bullshit. Like, this is, what if Harry Potter world was dark, and then put it into AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Harry Potter world, but 14% scarier. It looks horrible. The texture on the face, like Chan, just nothing about him looks normal. So apparently Jake helped. He explains he helped the guy complete the ritual by shooting, the mass shooter, and now the gate to hell is opening, right? And then we get introduced. He explains that the guy we saw at the beginning that looked like the Timu, X-Men villain, his name is Wichin, and he's Chan's father, and he's a necromancer. Okay. Yep. Cool. I believe you. Fine. Jake is the gatekeeper.
Yep, I believe it. Sure. It's one of those things that you think they would save to the end as like a big reveal, as like, and he's my dad, and you go, oh, but no, he's just like, yeah, my dad, he came back, and I have to stop him because he's like a bad wizard. So that's all it is.
Chan knows everything that's happening, knows how it's going to end. He's just explaining. Again, he is the narrator that happens to be a character on screen as well. Jake's the gatekeeper because he was the only person in history to have his mother die in childbirth during a blood moon. Which seems like that might have happened another time throughout history. I don't know.
Which is like, I don't know. The film has this very deterministic vibe about it because this all happened to an American guy. And honestly, everything happening in this film is a lot of Asian problems. Like, it's just a lot of this is just very Asian problems. And like, all these monsters are Asian and the necromancer is an Asian guy and his son, Asian fella. Everybody here is just having Asian problems, but for some reason, An American guy was born under a blood moon and blames himself for his mother's death in childbirth. And that makes him the keeper of the gates of hell. And that's...
Of all these very Thai things that are happening.
Of, again, all these variation problems that are happening.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the great white hope. Again, this is the white savior coming overseas to see grandma and to save Thailand.
Yeah. This isn't like the Golden Child where like Eddie Murphy is kind of like Eddie Murphy isn't the chosen one per se in that. He's just a good guy in the area that saves the chosen one, you know, because all the things are happening in LA. Like he saves the Golden Child. Yeah. This is basically treating Jake as the Golden Child.
Yeah, he is. He's the gatekeeper, as the prophecy foretold. We get this, again, AI slop exposition flashback about how Chan's father how he became a necromancer, and he tried to take Chan's body. And apparently, yeah. This is when I was like, learned this was a video game. I was like, oh, okay. So this is all this stuff that I don't understand happened in the video game, apparently. I don't know if that's true or not. But we have some dumb storyline. No one who didn't play the video game would ever give a fuck about. But now I'm learning maybe it's not even in the video game. I don't fucking know. And I don't care. I don't care at all. Because it doesn't change the... Good or bad, it doesn't change the movie watching experience at all. It just wastes my time. We get these horrible, like barely above Birdemic versions. It's like a Temu version of the monsters from A Quiet Place on the roof. It is so bad. He's running across the roof and he's stopping to like, I forget. I think he has some sort of like blunt object that he's just smacking these.
It's just like a board or a pipe that he picked up.
And oh my God, do they look bad? I mean, they are clearly they don't even look like they're on the same surface that he's on. And he's just whacking them with pipes, and they're going down really easy. These are not tough monsters.
In this scene, he is in the 2026 version of Nick Arcade. Just slapping down like these fucking monsters that do not exist in any reality ever. And
the hit detection is not good in this game.
Well, not good
either.
for them. Generous for him, because he can just swing the pipe and they
that's true.
They just go down
from 15 feet away, like no contact made. They go down.
Fatal shot every time.
He stumbles upon the phone girl that he exposed her position earlier, and we learn why. She doesn't know she's in purgatory, and we learn it's because she cheated on her boyfriend, I guess. It's like, dude, like, I don't know. It just seems like they're sending people to purgatory for like, Jake's there because he was on the phone during vacation. And this lady cheated on her boyfriend, and now she's in hell. Like, that's rough. It's rough. But the skeleton guy straight up eats her head off, picks her up, bites her head off, which is the only even close to cool thing that's happened so far. Like, it doesn't look good, but it's the only thing that you were like, okay, that could have been kind of cool. He picks her up and bites her head off. I love when a giant, it just reminds me of those super violent dinosaur trading cards that I had when I was little. Like, he just picks her up, bites her head off. And I'm like, okay, that's all right, I guess. But that's how he eats their souls. By the way, the big skeleton has a name. It's like Preta or something like that.
Yeah, I looked it up. That's
Doesn't
actually
matter.
That is actually kind of Thai and Southeast Asian lore. Of like that is like a demon ghosts that they kind of have. They're called hungry ghosts, and they're like ghosts that are banished. They do not look like it. What I've seen does not look like this. Like, they do not.
They're not giant smoldering skeletons.
Yeah, no, they're not giant ash and root skeletons made of lava that go around biting people like that. The Wikipedia even says that they're just kind of annoying, like most of the time. They're just like annoying dead people who like died greedy is what their thing is. Like they died greedy.
Okay.
And so they exist in the other world just being an annoyance of like, I want more. And it's like, shut up, ghost. Ugh. Leave me alone.
All right. Annoying Ebenezer Scrooge ghost. Yeah, Jake's pissed because he's a ghost, I guess. And like Chan told him that he's a ghost and he's pissed because he's like, how am I going to save my family? But luckily Chan fucking sucks at explaining things. So like there's obviously going to be a loophole. Like he's just like very vague in the way he explains everything. Jake is essentially here because he answered his phone on vacation. Like that's what we're learning. He didn't do anything worse. He didn't do like that's apparently I kept waiting for like, oh, Jake has some sort of like dark past, something that he's truly ashamed of and he's keeping from his family and he's going to have to come to terms with that before he gets back and saves them. Nope. That's why he's in the hindrance. That's why he's in purgatory. Answered his phone on vacation.
Which like, so he goes, and it's kind of a hell. Like it's not hell, but it's kind of hell because you're getting torn apart by demons.
There's big goddamn 200-foot tall smoldering skeletons. Yeah. Like that's pretty hell.
And like Phone Girl went there, even though she was shot in the middle of trying to repent for what she did. She tells Jake, she's like, I was on my phone trying to call my boyfriend to tell him about how, I was sorry for cheating on him. And then she gets grabbed up by the skeleton and just gets her head bit off. And it's like, well, what happens to her soul after that, Chan? Give me some good news. Because does she go to hell now? Or does she wander around headless in this fuck-ass place for the rest of her existence?
Chan, speak comfort to me. Speak comfort to me.
Chan, give me some good news, goddammit.
But he doesn't. Chan is the ghost of Christmas future. He's a bastard. We have more lame CGI demons. They kind of look like, fallen angels, whatever. They got wings and shit. Who fucking cares? At this point, he has a fight with a couple of them. The way they stand, it looks like PlayStation 2 fucking shitty like animations. And I'm like, how do you make a fucking kung fu monk fighting demons with a cane lame?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. You give me kung fu monk fighting demons with a cane, I'm going to watch that every single time. And you somehow made that shitty and not exciting.
This movie is the opposite of The Boxer's Omen. Everything is CGI. Nobody can do shit.
Yeah. Do yourself a favor and watch The Boxer's. I told you, we were texting because I was halfway through this movie and I texted Steve, I hate this movie and I hate you. And then Steve just wrote like, la 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 la. And then I said afterwards, I was literally watching Demon Fetus. Like The Boxer's Omen, another Hong Kong Category 3 movie. Yeah. I was watching it as a palate cleanser after this movie. Jake has to be put into a different body because Chan's going to bring him to the real world, but he can't use his body apparently. So he puts him in the body of like a cop, a random Thai cop. Or I don't even know who's a cop, just some random Thai guy.
Just some random Thai guy who got fucking shot in a movie theater.
Yeah, he's just got a bloody hole in his chest, right? And so that he can take the portal back to the real world. And also he's feeling the pain of the fresh corpse that he's inhabiting, which I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, right? But then it begs the question, like, why wouldn't you just use Jake's corpse? Like, Jake's dead too. Why didn't you use him? Why'd you have to use this guy? And the explanation from Chan is like, this is the best I could do on short notice. And you're like, why? We don't understand your limitations. Like, we just have to believe that, okay, I guess he's got to be a different guy for some reason. And the only reason is so they could do the old, like, wait, which is the real Batman? Yeah. You know what I mean? that's we just need to get to this.
What they don't do a good enough thing of setting up, because it is just such a quick, like, it's a quick thing that comes right before Jake getting put into this new body is like, we see Jake at the hotel room door of his family, and then you learn that it's the mass shooter Mech who somehow, like, this is the thing, we never see this happen. Like, why does, after exploding, he gets to jump into Jake's body and come back? Like, we never see why any of that happens. It just happens. So, yeah.
It just happens. We see Jake show up to the hotel acting weird, and we're like, that's not real Jake. And then Chan eventually explains that, but we see it. We see it play out. That it's obviously not Jake. But we learn that Mech is in Jake's body. Now Jake is in Rando's body. So Mech in Jake's body comes back to the hotel room, like pops his shirt off, is acting all weird. And yeah, we get the idea. It's the gun guy. Also, we have already seen that, like, for some reason, when you're in somebody else's body, you look in a mirror. It's yourself, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, mirrors can tell the difference for some reason. I don't know. Not magic mirrors, just any mirror. Any reflection.
It's your... Chan says something to the effect of, it's your brain tricking... It's your brain or your spirit, and you're tricking yourself into seeing yourself, but that's not yourself. Like, yeah, I don't know. You can't trick yourself against... But
it also seems like maybe other people can see the real you, too.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, because I think...
But maybe not.
Okay, so Mech in Jake's body, when he looks in a mirror, he sees Mech. But when Jake looks into a mirror, he sees the Thai guy that he jumped into. So it doesn't make sense. Yeah. It doesn't line up. Like,
that's how he sees him. And then also later, when they're doing the little showdown, and Jake in Thai guy's body is trying to convince his wife that it's him, and Mech is going, no, obviously I'm Jake. Look, you can see me as Jake. You see when they're fighting, Jake in Thai guy's body go down, and you think you're seeing it kind of from the perspective of the wife, and you see Jake's reflection instead of Thai guy. And I'm like, oh, so is the wife seeing the real reflection? But then she obviously doesn't make a decision based on that, because she shoots the real Jake. Because she
shoots Thai guy.
Sees it's she shoots Thai guy. Anyway, yeah, Chan, this is when Chan gives him his magic weapons. He's got an ancient flintlock pistol that has got special ghost bullets. And, like, I know I'm being a little facetious, but that's not that far from how he actually describes it. He's like, this is the flintlock pistol, and it has special spirit bullets. And he's like, sick.
Oh, cool, dude.
And then also he gives him, the ghost dagger, which we established might be in the game, but Jake doesn't like take it for some reason. He's like, I'm good with the gun, bro. But we also established that Chan can't kill, which immediately made me think that Chan can't cook, but Chan can't kill. He gives the daughter, the Mac in the J costume gives him his, the little creepy doll Mitzi or whatever he had before, and now the wife, like the daughter knows it's not really her dad, but the wife refuses to believe, because she's just like sees his body and it's like, yeah, it's obviously him, but he's acting real weird. So Jake's in the rando's body. Yeah, they don't do the callback. Like I said, we already mentioned it. They kind of botch the whole like reflection thing, because you think that's how she's gonna see that it's not the real Jake, or that the Thai guy is the real Jake, but that's not how it works. She just says fuck it and shoots Jake in Thai guy's body.
Yeah, they try to do, like you're saying, they try to do the callback of the pinky swear, because Mech in Jake's body and Jake in Thai guy's body, they're wrestling in a pool, and Thai guy is trying to convince these, this mother and daughter that he's actually Jake, and the daughter's like, "Daddy, is that really you? Is it you for sure?" And he's like, yes, it is me, and tries to hold up his pinky. And she's like, I'll promise that could not be broken. But then, the mom fucking shoots him anyway. So he goes back to sort of hell.
Also, the bad guy in his body is like threatening Jake while they're fighting, but he's saying like not that threatening things. He's like, I'm gonna be a better father to her than you could ever be. And it's like, well, that's kind of a nice thing for a demon to do. Like, if you kill me, I'd rather you be a good father than like eat her.
It's like, well, all right, if you're gonna be a good dad, I guess.
All right. Well, this demon has like a good intentions, at least. Not a great threat. I'm going to treat your family so good. I'm going to be better father and husband than you could ever be.
I'm going to not be on the phone during travel time.
Yeah.
Can I point out?
So they do the old.
Can I point out one thing that really was sending me, and this is just like an Easter egg for the podcast, but the subtitles on Amazon are fucking janky, and they're not well done. But this character, who's this bad guy, Mech, his character's name is Mech, MEK. However it is, it fucks up on Amazon, and it comes out as Meg. So anytime they reference him...
Yes, it did come up as Meg a lot. I forgot about that. I meant to write that down.
It just referencing a lot of bad things.
It's like, God damn it, Meg.
Just a lot of bad things Meg is doing. And it's like, hell yeah, this movie.
Yeah.
It's got one thing going for it.
We should have that as a topic on the wheels, just villains that are just Meg villains that aren't a giant shark. But yeah, I noticed that too. On mine, it would sometimes say Meg and sometimes say Mech, which I thought was funny. So yeah, wife shoots the wrong guy, and that sends Jake back to purgatory, and he's immediately attacked by one of the flying demons. But Chan pops in and saves him. Who cares? Like, there's no repercussions for what just happened.
We don't see him get saved.
The kid
either.
knows that he just wakes up, and it's like he just has another life, like in the video game. It's kind of how it works.
Pretty much.
Start the level over again.
Yeah, because it's like he dies, and then he's bitten on the neck, like he's descended upon by one of those crazy shitty bat demons, and is bitten on the neck, and it's like, oh yeah, he's dead. Like, he's dead now. But then the immediate next scene, just hard cut to him being awake in Chan's Harry Potter dungeon. And it's like, oops, we fucking forgot there was like a whole 20 minutes left to this film, dude. I don't know why we just killed you just now, because there's a whole movie left.
They basically, it was just like that was his last checkpoint that he got to. That was his last save point. So, Mech is like, he's got the blood spots showing up on the wall. So I don't know. I guess that means Mech's going to take his family to purgatory or something. Who knows? Jake does still have the magic dagger. So they go to this big, the last 20 minutes of this movie, the whole thing's thrown together, but this is like, they got to go to where the portal is opening because Jake's got to close the portal. And they just have this like exterior footage of a giant dilapidated mansion. And that's, I guess, the final showdown spot where the gates of hell are opening. We don't know why. We don't know where it is. We don't know whose mansion this is. Nothing, right? But we get this separate set piece inside this like dilapidated mansion. And Jake is, again, one of the worst lines you could imagine coming out of an actor's mouth. But he's like, this is him talking to Chan. He's like, I need to get to them, whatever the cost. Okay, the American cop. Yeah, it's exactly what he would say. No one talks like that. The Master shows up. They're calling him the Master. It's the dad of Chan, the Temu X-Men villain. His voice is fucking hilarious. We should say
this is what cemented me picking this as a punishment film, because The rest of this film it's fucking boring and shitty and bad and whatever. The last 20 minutes of this film rule so hard as garbage.
It doesn't rule. It's so dumb. His voice. Okay. I was like, so he walks in and he goes, "Allow me to introduce myself." It sounds like, the only thing I could think it sounds like is, do you remember that SNL sketch from like the late 90s, early 2000s with Will Ferrell, and they work in like the high fashion store?
Okay, yeah.
And he has like the little tiny cell phone, all that stuff. It was a reoccurring character. That's what he sounds like. He's like, "Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a bad guy." It's wild. Why? I don't know if this is a decision by the actor or what, but yeah, you just imagine him to be like, "Pack your bags, we're going to Milan." Like, that's what he thinks he's gonna say next.
So according to IMDb, the guy who's playing the character is not the voice. So all of this voice is done secondhand. It's all ADR, and then the second guy doesn't do a better job, and they just kind of like pitch him down a couple octaves, and it just it's so fucking funny and it rules.
"I'm gonna take your soul,"
except for when he's not doing Will Ferrell voice. But
it's like calmer than that.
It's calm. Yeah. It's calm, but it is like, it's loud for no reason, and it has like vocal effects to it, but it's bad. Like, it doesn't sound evil. It just sounds like a Power Rangers villain almost. I was just like, "I'm gonna take your soul now. It is me, Wei Zhen, and I've come to get you." But it gets better because when Jake shows up, he gets mad, and it turns into full Arnold. He goes like full Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was like, "Go and get them." And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Where did that come from?
Yeah. It's like this, like, phlegmy back of his throat type of voice. And then to make it even sillier, Jake and Chan show up, and Jake is dressed as one of the titular bad dudes from the 1988 NES classic video game Bad Dudes. Why did he change into a bad dude's outfit with like a sleeveless shirt and jeans? Like, you did a costume change to come fight a demon, and that's what you wore.
So they put him into another Thai guy's body, and I thought this was.
Oh, did I miss that?
Yeah. That's what they were doing. Because they were walking through the hindrance, and he says, like, "We got to find you a new body." And Jake says something to the effect of, "We'll make him a badass this time." And I thought it was supposed to be a reference to somebody that was like big in the martial arts scene or something when this guy walks in, because he gets kind of an entrance. Like, this Thai guy shows up, and I was like, "Oh, is this dude like a badass?" And like, he's not even credited on IMDb, so I don't think so. I was like, "Is this dude like a badass in the martial arts scene?" Like, if he showed up in like Tony Jaw's body or Iwo's
something,
Ukayas's body, And I was like, "Oh yeah, that'd be like a great cameo because now he's gonna kick ass." But no, he doesn't kick ass, and we barely see this new Thai guy at all. Like, he doesn't. kick ass
so much
at all.
so that I clearly missed it while taking notes. Like, I just missed that part because I just remember them showing, because eventually we see it as like, we don't even see that guy. Apparently we don't see him for long, because when I looked back up from my notes, it was Jake wearing bad dude's outfit. Yeah, and I'm like, why did he have those clothes on? But it was clearly the clothes the other guy was wearing. But anyway, so you get this really lackluster fight that ensues. Pretty short, and I guess that's the best thing about it. Like, it was short, but he eventually, I think it's doesn't the wife throws him the flintlock pistol, and then he eventually shoots him. But that's also not how that gun works. Like, that's not how a flintlock pistol works. But who cares? Whatever.
Magic gun.
It sends the bad guy to the hindrance, and then I don't know. He gets all ripped up, I guess. That's when he's like shooting the henchmen. I guess the henchmen, we should specify too, are just wearing like Vampire the Masquerade like masks. They're just regular guys, but they just have like a masquerade type mask on. I don't know. It's really fucking dumb.
I think the mask looks very specific to the 1995 Judge Dredd movie. And there's the guy who's in the Wastelands. What's his fucking name? But he's it's Mean Machine. The character of Mean Machine. They all are wearing just Mean Machine's fucking. Yeah, I'll show it to you. But it's just like a really shitty mask that goes over your face and just to your eyes. And like you said, it looks like a masquerade ball mask. But yeah, it is just it's just a fucking nothing bad guy mask. All
right. Oh yeah, sure. I remember that guy now. Yeah, it's a little bit more of a if that guy was going to a fancy ball. Yep, that's what he's wearing.
Yeah, because they're all wearing black suits to do fights in.
Chan distracts his dad long enough for Jake to run up behind him and shiv him. And it's such a just weak death for the big bad of the movie. He runs up behind him, just stabs him. Just distract him. I'll run up and stab him.
I laughed so fucking hard. I've probably seen that 3 times and I've laughed so fucking hard at it because
it's so bad.
You think we now have these 2 wizards. They're set up.
Right.
Like they're going to have fucking wizard fight. All right. We're going to see who has powers. And it's like this son has to overcome his dad. And literally the scene lasts less than a minute. And it plays out like, there was a period of time through South Park's, episodes and everything. Anytime they had a villain or anything, the villains often died these anticlimactic deaths where they would just go down very quickly. They would just go, and then they wouldn't explode into light or anything. They wouldn't turn into a second form. They would just go, and then fucking fall down. And that's exactly what happens here is Jake runs up, stabs him from behind, and he goes, and falls down. And
then he also just fades out, like disintegrates like a video game villain. Like somebody, you kill a random skeleton on Dark Souls and it just falls down and goes, it just disintegrates into nowhere. So now Jake has to go to hell to close the gate, and Chan just didn't tell him that this whole time.
Yeah.
He's like, you have to go to hell to close the gate. And Jake's like, that sucks. And Chan's like, I didn't want to tell you. I was hoping that we would figure something else out, but it's not happening. And Chan is the keeper of the clock here because he keeps going like, we're running out of time, buddy. And it's like, what's the time restriction? Is it that it's almost fully open? Like, you're just not telling us. It just feels like you have a magic clock that we don't know about. But, he decides, he tells his wife and daughter, I got to go to hell to close the gate and save you and save the world. And he explains about like he was afraid to love, and that was his big, crime. Jake does the pinky promise to come back from hell, which feels bold, but okay. And then Jake walks into a CGI fireball, right? It's apparently the AI, portal to hell. He walks into it as his wife and daughter are walking to hug grandma. So we're seeing these like cuts back and forth. So trying to make this all like emotionally charged. Jake burns up. The portal closes. Chan does a little bow, right? And then cut to, an unknown, I think, woman touches some dirt, does the edge pose, and then the portal maybe reopens.
Yep.
And then that's the end of the movie.
Yep. A lady in thigh-high boots and a black jacket just immediately erases everything that just happened with all that emotion. And like, it's not even, it's not in the mid credits. It's not the end credits. They give you exactly 0 time to sit with the emotional sacrifice of Jake getting nuked like Linda Hamilton in Terminator 2 to go to hell.
Yeah.
And the mother and daughter and grandmother all dealing with his death and sacrifice. They give you no time to sit with that because literally just lady in a black boots walks up and goes, nope, portal's back open. Fuck you. Bye. Movie's over. Bye.
So, yeah. And then it's over. Credits, fuck off. Nothing else. So I assumed this was, I mean, it obviously was one of those shameless, like, now there has to be a sequel things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's never going to be a sequel to this movie. There better not be a sequel to this movie.
Absolutely
if
not.
there is a sequel to this movie, guys, I'm going to kill myself. I'm just saying it right now. I think what we're meant to believe, or this is teasing, is obviously Jake didn't come back in the way that he pinky promised. I'm assuming that's his daughter who's grown up and is now developed the skills and figured out how to open it back up so she can go save her dad. That's what I took it as. That's not explained. That's not on screen.
No.
But that's what I'm trying to give this make some sense of this, because otherwise it is like a complete like non sequitur ending.
Yeah. I took it because like you said, there's no visual context to any of what you just said. You just made that up.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Because I took it as it was another bad guy who did it. I was just like, yeah, no, it's just another bad guy who wants to open the portals of hell. So that's how Jake gets out. There is like one other clue in that I think Chan says something to the effect of like, your journey is just beginning. So like, the assumption is like the sequel that will never happen is Jake fighting his way out of hell. Mm-hmm. Who cares? Who
cares? Never going to happen. I wish Jake was real so that he could be in hell. That would make me happy for him to suffer. Because
I hope William Moseley goes to hell. I hope William Moseley committed a bunch of crimes in Thailand and he goes to fucking Thai hell for that. This movie, runtime, very normal. I want to say it was like, 90 minutes ish, something like that. Let's see, 93 minutes. It felt like 4 fucking hours. It's impossible.
I stopped this movie 6+ times. Just like I can only digest it 10 minutes at a time because it's so exhaustingly stupid. And I hated everything about it. This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, most cynical movies I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And I genuinely hope whoever was responsible for its making never, ever works again.
Yes. Yeah. I hope nobody has jobs after this, except for the Thai actors,
Sure. Yeah. I mean, like the directors, producers, those people. I hope that the studio heads that made this happen, I hope they never work again. The actors, fine, whatever.
Yeah. The Thai actors were absolutely duped into doing some bullshit. Like the Thai actors who are Jake's surrogate bodies, none of them speak English at all, and they're forced to do English lines because Jake is inhabiting their bodies. And it's fucking like, you're just fucking with these people. What are you doing? This is like, there's a grossness to it that they made all these Thai people do English lines when they cannot do that. It's a shit. Like you said, it's shitty. It's cynical. It was built off of an existing property that they think they could take advantage of, and it just doesn't make any sense. It's just garbage. And on top of all that, it's clearly bot boosted in the ratings on like IMDb and Amazon, because it has like a 3.5 on Amazon, or it has a 3.5 on Prime. Yeah, Amazon Prime. And then it has a 4.3 on IMDb, because there's a bunch of 10-star ratings. Like people are they paid to bot boost this, and then on Letterboxd, it's a 1.5. You know, nobody wants this shit.
Yeah, that's why I would never look at, like, I've never looked at the Amazon rating, because it's just never reliable at all. And IMDb has went over the years so fucking far downhill as well. Yeah. And Rotten Tomatoes is not far behind it. I that's why I usually look on Letterboxd, because at least I'm sure at some point Letterboxd will get that fucking diseased as well. But yeah, it's this movie is unwatchable. You should never ever watch it. You can use it as a weapon. You can trick people into watching it, or force people into watching it, like Steve did to me. It'll be effective in that way. But that's it. That's it. That's his only use for this.
Because it's on...
Or on Riff Tracks. Maybe Riff Tracks does it someday.
Yeah, if there's ever a Riff Tracks, watch that. But because it's on Prime, you know, it's technically free if you have a Prime subscription. I suggest at least watching the last 20 minutes just to see the necromancer in his voice and the way he dies. That's so fucking funny. You have to hear the Arnold.
I actually really...
and the way he gets
the voice
stabbed.
Is hilarious. I would love to hear like the how did this get made, you know, podcast, do this, like listen to like Jason Mantzoukas like tear into this movie or something. That would be fun. Otherwise, this movie serves absolutely no purpose except for to be ridiculed and made fun of. All right, guys, that's Home Sweet Home: Rebirth from 2025. Remember, next week we will we'll probably announce our sickest mask movies. I have not picked one. I've got a short list. If you've got suggestions for sickest masks, send them our way. Slide into the old DMs on the social medias, and give us your suggestions, because we'll be figuring those out. Like I said, check out the Patreon, because we've got our first episode coming this month of our Patreon exclusive podcast series. We're going to watch Altered States. We're going to talk about how we're going to learn some things from these movies to hopefully figure out how to kill God. Looking forward to that. Steven, anything else before we wrap this up? Do you want to come clean? Do you want to admit your sins so you can get out of purgatory, or are you going to double down on this?
No, I'm going to double down on this and just say this only happened because you like Final Flesh too much. You enjoyed a punishment movie too much, so I had to punish.
I did.
This is double punish.
I did. I purchased it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, you rubbed that in my face. You bought a Blu-ray and you're like, I love this movie so much. It's like, well, fuck you, bud. Yeah. We're gonna watch this direct now. Take it up your ass.
I do not believe Vinegar Syndrome or Arrow Video or anything are going to do a special edition of Home Sweet Home Rebirth anytime soon. So no options there. But all right, join us for a minisode next week, and like I said, send us those suggestions for sickest masks. Any final thoughts in general before we wrap up this here minisode?
Nope.
All right. Well, hold out. Stick it in there, guys. Stick it in there. Don't stay in there. What's the word I'm looking for? Hang in there. Yeah. No, I was going to say stick it out or hang in there. And then I said stick it in there. Not what I wanted to say necessarily. January is we're on the back half of January. January fucking sucks. But stick it in there, and we'll figure out how to get through January together. For the Halloween is Forever crew, I'm Brian.
I'm Steve.
All right, see you next time. I'm trying to do that. Can't get that voice yet.
Next time on the podcast.
All right, bye.